taking the time. I genuinely appreciate it, man.
Dude, anytime for you. You're the king.
Oh Jesus! Well, it's awful nice of you to say that. I've been like following you. I don't know if you know this, but you cut my hair for my wedding back in October. Before I went to go see. We just stopped by your shop on a lark because we'd never been down that way. So I owe you a huge just debt of gratitude in general because I got so many compliments on the cut when I went down there anyway. So thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome.
Did the
So there's some reasons I want to talk to you. Like,
did the marriage work out?
yeah, man, we're still together. Yeah.
Okay, okay, good. So
That's
that's
a
a
good
solid
question.
haircut.
That's a good question. Yeah, she puts up with me doing this shit. So yeah, it's working.
That's well, that's dope, man.
Yeah. So you're kind of in a unique position, and I want to talk to you for like five different reasons. But um, first, before we get going, I got to get your permission because I'm recording this. So I
Yeah,
was hoping that's okay.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So this will what this turns into after we're done here is I'm going to take some of this content. I'll get it to you. You can use it for whatever you want. If you think it's good for you, use it. If you don't. And then after we're all done here, I'm going to piece all this together and turn it into a bit of an interview. I'll get some pictures from you, stuff like that, and then you can do whatever you want with that.
Rad.
Cool, man. Cool. If you're cool with that, then that's kind of what
100%.
I'm doing right now. So,
Yeah, whatever you want to do, I'm in. I love
bitching.
what you whatever you do,
Oh,
I'm
thanks,
into.
thanks, man. That's very kind of you. So just so that the people that are tuning in for the first time and don't know what you're doing, if you could give me a little bit of, well, how's things going to the barbershop to start off?
Yeah, it's going good, man. We've got another art show on the 28th. We've had bands, weirdo market, book launches. We shot a movie in there.
I saw some pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that movie. We do a podcast out of there, me and my homie, and we're interviewing the girls who made the movie. Spoiler alert, it's about a barbershop. And it was funny, man. They're like, Ash, we want to shoot this movie. We wrote this thing and it takes place in a barbershop. I was like, yeah. Okay, no, for sure. And we need kind of like a tough looking barber. Oh, okay. Okay. So it
You're like,
turns
sign
out
me up.
it's me and one other person in the movie. And they're doing their little premiere. It's like a 6 or 7 minute short. It's dope. And they're doing a premiere tonight here where I am, and then
Awesome.
it's gonna. I'm not sure they'll do something with it, and I don't know. I'll put it up some. It'll be somewhere. I'll
Sure.
show it.
You want to just take a second and plug your podcast? What's the name of your podcast?
It's called the Red Couch Wednesdays with Izzy. It's
Beauty.
mostly it's all East Van dudes and like musicians, filmmakers, authors. Yeah, stuff like that.
People.
Yeah, all the stuff, all the good
So
stuff. That's the jam.
how do you kind
Barbershop.
of take? Sorry, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
That's the jam at the barbershop is East Van is eating it. Like the corporate whoever it is, that have are eating they ate all our culture and they just left us with it's fucked. So that was the idea at the barbershop is we can have that. We can make enough of that in our barbershop to that people can remember what it was like skateboarding and punk rock and tattoos and like all the stuff that was cool that got boxed out and got eaten by fucking brown social house or you know what I mean. We don't need
Yeah. That's part of
it's
the
not
reason why I want to talk to you is because it seems like you're one of the last bastions of that lifestyle. I cut my teeth in the early 2000s in Vancouver down there, and I remember like the culture, the fun, the people call it vibe now, but it used to be just I know it didn't used to be called vibe. It was just hanging out and whatever the culture was at the time, right?
dude, it
It's
was so
different. It's
fun.
lost now.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was so fun, right? Like I don't know, me and two guys, hey, everybody got $200. Oh, we've all got $200. All right, we go rent a house, put a jam space in the basement, put a skateboard ramp in the backyard, get a fucking keg of beer, charge people whatever, $2 for a beer, pay our rent, and off we go and play and play and play. And there were bands, everybody had a band, everybody was making it's wild now, man. Actually, like these kids who we're gonna interview tomorrow, they're like 20 20, 21, whatever, these filmmaker kids, and they look at film the way we looked at punk rock. It's like I'd hear Black Flag and go, oh, I can do that. I can figure out how to do that. And they do that with film. They're like, oh, I can figure that out. But it's not a Les Paul. It's like,
I can do that shot. I can do that edit. Yeah. I hear that same stuff now. The technology is really opening it up for them. Yeah,
for sure, dude. And it's similar, right? Like they don't have the stuff that we had. Like it isn't parties and booze cans and like that. Like Vancouver was a completely, like there was two Vancouvers. Like there was a completely underground Vancouver of art gallery and speakeasies and you know, private gigs and all that stuff, and that stuff's all, it's all gone.
So how do you preserve it then? I mean, you're doing these events, you're doing podcasts, you're doing movie shoots, you're doing live performances, you're doing art, things like that. How the crowds that come in, are you getting positive vibes? Like people saying like, you, thank God you're doing this, or this is I just finished interviewing Blink 182 cover band out of PEI, and they say the culture out there is very punk rock, very DIY, very, you know, like everybody's working in 3 or 4 bands for not that money. Like there is that culture coming around, but like, how do you foster that? How do you keep that alive in places like that when, like you said, gentrification everywhere? You're losing space all the time to police and you know, crime, and everything's pushing in on you. How do you keep the heartbeat alive?
Well, I think because as much as I need it and live for that stuff, everybody needs that stuff. You know as well as anybody, probably more than most people, you need that stuff, man. You need that creativity and culture, and you need that to fucking live. And everybody gets it. And then oh, it's free. Oh, just come. We'll just do it. We're just doing it for nothing. Like we had my friend's band, Saints and Sinners, played in there, and there's, I don't know, 20 or 30 people kind of in and out during, like in the barbershop. It was dope, like in our waiting room, which is set up, people don't know, it's set up like a hangout, because we want people to come and hang out, read comic. There's a bunch of 8,000 comic books, and literally 8,000 comic books in there. We're watching wrestling, listening to punk rock, mouthing off, hanging out. You know what I mean? And that's what we wanted.
I'll plug you guys. You guys are the most badass barbershop I've ever been in. An absolute pleasure to get your haircut in. If you're a dude or a chick, absolute gentleman, by the way, to my wife, or at the time my fiance. You guys gave her a drink. You guys took care of her nicely. Got a great cut, but you also feel like you're hanging with the boys in a nice little safe space. Is great, man. A great little place.
That's exactly what it was, dude. Like my son is 18, and him and his goons, they live in East Van. It's like, you know what I mean? They need somewhere else. And so we literally built that thing for those boys to come and just be with us, chill with us, and hang out. And it's trippy, you know, like my kid has a dad, but he doesn't have a mom. He's got me. But a lot of his homies, there's no men in their lives. They're all raised by, it's that fucking Fight Club, a generation of men raised by women, and they don't have men in their lives, and they don't know what it is to, how to hang out and how to be a dude. Like it isn't, you know what I mean? It isn't hits and fucking being a, you know, it, guys don't act like on TV or whatever that ridiculous shit is.
You gotta bring the temperature down for a lot of these boys, because everything in their life is all they see is confrontation, all they see is violence, all they see is broing up and broing down or whatever else, right? And that's not life. You can't get by like that.
No, dude, it's not real. And so that was the thing. And there's a bunch of those boys. I fucking love them all, but that's kind of the idea, you know, like we're not your dads, but fuck, man, we'll show you what it is to be a man. Just come and be with us, just hang out and be respectful and be cool, and girls too, you know what I mean, like just be a fucking anyway. So that's kind of that's the vibe in there, that's the jam in there. And then so Saints and Sinners played, and there's like 20 or 30 people kind of in and out during the thing. And then the next day I was talking to my homie. I was like, dude, sorry, you know, maybe I could have advertised better, or maybe whatever. And he's like, oh, what are you talking about? We streamed that thing. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like 2,500 people watched it.
Oh,
Like, oh shit. So that's like, dude, that's like playing the fucking Commodore
yeah, man.
in the barbershop.
Yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
understand those metrics, man. Good for you. A lot of people don't get that. It's 2,500 faces. It's view time. It's like prime time viewing opportunity, right? Like
yeah,
good
dude.
for you for recognizing that. Good for your buddy for telling you that. That's good metrics, man. That's great.
Yeah, right. That's the stuff. Like that's the I had no idea, but that's the stuff. Like so that's kind of, you know, to go back to what you were saying before. A lot of people want this stuff, man.
They do.
Yeah, and that was the jam too when we were younger. Like nothing cost anything. Just go do it. Just go figure it out. Go do it, man. And
So
now,
how did you come up with the inception of barbershop? How did you, I mean, is this something you were doing earlier in your life, or is this something you just woke up one day and you said, you know what, I need a space, I need a thing to do, I'm gonna cut some hair, I'm gonna learn as I go, or where's it, like, how do you get to that thing? And then the space becomes so organic after that, you get to do so much in it. It's almost like you had a loaded deck. You were going in there with lots of tricks to use, and you knew, like, you know, you had an avenue to get stuff out. How'd you do that?
it's a super trippy story, dude. I worked in the downtown east side and for I don't know 20 years and a whole bunch of other places though. But so like I worked at Insight, the injection site, the first year that opened. I unlocked the door the first day. Whoa. And I did that for a year. And then after that, I worked at a bunch of other stuff like the Naomi Project, which is the Vancouver heroin trials. We give people pharmaceutical grade from the government, pharmaceutical grade heroin 3 times a day. I did that for 6 years. And then, and it was hairy. It was all crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then by then, now I have this reputation that if something's super fucked up, this guy I'll do it. You're like, oh, Ash will do it. He's something wrong with him. Anyway, and I did. And we ended up in Coquitlam and fucking Maple Ridge to that shit show and like all this crazy stuff that I ended up doing. And then I was working back. And it goes on for years, decades, fuck. And then I was working in Vancouver at this really crazy thing. I won't say exactly what it is, but it's gone now. Yeah. Anyway, and this guy, I'd known him for 10 years or so, and we were homies, and he was working for me. I was in management by this point, and he died at work. He fucking overdosed on fentanyl, and I had no idea that he was using. And anyway, I got the call. I live close to where this place was. I fucking go there as fast as I can, and I'm too late, and I can't save him. He dies. I watch my fucking friend die. Then the coroner comes, put him in the van, take him away. It's fucked. And I was like, okay, I need a bit of time off. I tell my fucking whatever he is, whatever my boss's title was, I can't remember. And I won't tell you who it was or where I worked or all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I went, and there's a woman from WorkSafe who needs a tour of the death site, and I was in charge. So okay, I give her the tour of the death site, and she'd worked downtown prior in her life. She's like, you know, it can be quite traumatizing to attend an overdose. And I said, yeah. It's not my first canoe ride. I've done it before. She went, okay, how many times? It's like, about somewhere north of 1,200 times.
Whoa, son. Jesus Christ.
And she said, okay, that's way too much. You can't do that. And then that's it. I'm done. I can't do that work anymore. And because of that number is so staggering, I have to talk to counselors and researchers and professors, doctors up the ass, like so many people. What does this kind of trauma do to a person? And on and on and on. And post-traumatic stress disorder to this degree, and how does that blah 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 blah. And that went on for a couple years, and it was fucking heavy, right? And they're like, oh, you're this. They gave me all these fucking things, diagnoses, and I was like, okay, I guess it doesn't change anything, right? I was like, okay, I guess. But anyway, the short answer is you can't do this job anymore. That's too much. You've done way too much.
How did you feel about it? Do you agree or disagree at this point? I mean, besides the professional nudging or them saying you got a diagnosis and all this stuff, when you looked in your heart, did you say you'd been fucked up by it? If you look back now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then I said, we will send you back to school. We'll get you more education. Do whatever you want. Send you back. Fuck, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I also have a research background. And so I think they assumed that I would say, okay, I'll just, desk jockey or whatever. And I didn't. I said, okay, then I want to be a barber. What the fuck? You want to be a barber? Because I'd always wanted to. I love that shit, punk rock and mohawks and chopping up cool Motley Crue haircuts when I was a kid, or you know what I mean, all that. I love that shit. And they're like, oh, okay, barber, yeah, you can be a barber, but why? And my answer was, no one dies at the barbershop. And so far, no one's died at the barbershop.
That's great, man.
Because I'm fucking awesome. And I mean, I'd truly have to fuck up for someone to die at the barbershop. Anyway, and so they sent me to the most prestigious school in Vancouver, and that's where I met Jeff, and we became homies because he's a similar head to me. And anyway, I ended up getting this gig at a barbershop, and I was like, oh, this is all right. I called Jeff. You got anybody who's about to graduate that's good and I won't want to strangle after 8 hours? And he said, no. Okay. Right. And then about a week later, he's like, fuck it. I'm going to quit my teaching job that he'd had for 16 years. I just want to hang out with you. All right, cool. So we did. And then we met up with these other two boys. One's a pro fighter and one's in law school. They're brothers. And their parents, actually, it's funny, they work in film, and my father-in-law was on Battlestar Galactica, and their dad was his hairstylist, Michael Hogan's hairstylist, for the whole rip of that, which is wild. And then I found out that Jeff at one point had won some fucking contest to have dinner. He won dinner with Michael. I was like, what the flying fuck? So we've all got my father-in-law in common, who's a super dope guy. Anyway, and then we just went, fuck it, let's do our own thing. Like fuck it, man. I don't want to drive out to the sticks. I want to be in East Van where I fucking belong. And I want to do this, and I want to push the culture, and we can do this thing, man. Like, we can do way more than just fucking cut people's hair. We can do this thing. And they're all down. And all the boys, like the two brothers are younger than us, but Jeff remembers when it was like that too. Like before the Town Pump was gone, and Club Soda, and like all the Cruel Elephant, and all the stuff, the Arts Club, and all that stuff, man, like the Marine Club, the Railway, all that stuff. And he, man, we remember what that was, how dope that was, and how good that felt. We can do that too, but to a different extent, and our little scene isn't going to get fucking destroyed by drugs. we can keep ours, and the triads aren't going to come in and fuck our thing up.
That was going to be the next question. Yeah, that was going to be the next question. When you're down there and you're fighting that battle every day, where you're seeing people on the regular and you're watching them deteriorate, how do you have compassion, both as a business owner? How do you have compassion as a human being, and how do you do that every single day when you watch people? I lost my mom to heroin addiction myself. I know what it's. I had to pull somebody out of a car up in Quesnel last year, and he overdosed. I didn't live there. I just walking down the street, some guy overdosed, and I had to pull him out, and he was gone by the time we started doing CPRs. And I'm seeing it grow every day where I'm living. How do you deal with that as a business owner, where you feel like do you feel like you're under threat? Do you feel like there's forces that are taking away your profitability, taking away your money? Is that something you're concerned about, or is it more just creating a safe space?
I'm not worried about it at all. And
yeah.
And we're further east too, you know what I mean? Like we're in Hastings Sunrise. It's way chiller up there. Like we're not Maine and Hastings, but when I was down there every day and it was death, I was surrounded by death. Here's the trippy thing, dude, is it became nothing. Like life and death was nothing. I'd see what's that?
Just speak to that a little bit, just for
I
I
would
don't know
see.
people that aren't close to death if they really know what that means, but maybe you
Well,
can
I would see
illuminate
a
that.
dead person. There'd be somebody lying there dead on the ground, and I'd just go, "Oh fuck this," and I'd bring them back to life. And I did it over and over and over again. I'd just bring them back to life, and it was fucking nothing. That guy's dead. And you know that thing, fight, flight, freeze. I saw that for sure. The most typical one that I saw was freeze. Most people froze. Some people would fucking literally run, but I wouldn't, and I would just do it. I would just fucking fuck this, and I just bring the guy back to life over and over and over, and it was just fucking nothing. You know, it's fucking trippy, dude. If it was any other population that I'd brought, you know, 1,000 people back from the dead,
Yeah.
they'd throw a fucking parade for me.
Well,
I'd
no,
have
you're
I'd have the
you're
fucking medal of Canada.
a demigod. Yeah. No, this is what I mean when
But
you
it
say
isn't, because
it's
it's all
nothing. That's
fucking,
such an interesting concept when you got
all
when
skids.
on the other side of zero is nothing, and that's where the people are, and then you bring them back.
It's wild, eh?
Woo! So you've got a body total in the positive. So you got no problems getting into heaven when you get there.
We'll see. They
We'll
weren't.
see.
We'll see.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so you got movie shoots, you got live performances, you got hair cutting, you got all this stuff. How do you manage all of that? You got obviously have good business partners, you got good people in the shop, but what's the secret sauce? How does a business, do you need to do all that other stuff to make the business work these days? Is that part of the component of making a business successful in your sector?
No, all those in contest. No, we don't do that for money. We do that for the fucking culture, dude. We
That's
do
great.
that for absolutely for the love of the fucking culture, dude.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, haircuts make us money. Our barber academy. Well, we have our own school too. That makes us money. I guess the tattoo artists bring it. Like those things bring in a bit of money for sure. The fucking bands don't bring in any money. The art shows don't bring in any money. Book launches don't bring in any money. Podcast stuff. No, dude, we do that because we fucking love the fucking culture, dude. We love it. I love fucking punk rock. I love fucking do it yourself. I love that stuff, man. That shit is so fucking deep to me. No, that's not. It's important, but it doesn't help the bottom line. No, it just helps.
That's kind of what I'm getting. It's like it's punk rock business. You're having to do the business in a quote unquote punk rock style just to make her go.
Yeah, dude. Like we could just be, if we could a chair and cutting guys' hair. So, who cares, man? We like wrestling and all that other insanity. We like wrestling and punk rock and skateboards and fucking motorcycles. We like all that stuff, and everybody we know likes that stuff. So revel in that stuff, man. That stuff's dope. Fucking. Stuff,
so do you
man.
see other people looking at your model here and they're kind of looking at their own projects and maybe seeing them as a little bit more doable or a little bit more reasonable because you're setting an example there? Do you feel like you're doing that?
Well, like there's some young kids. There's one kid particularly, a photographer, who is staggering. This guy's work is fucking it's killer. And it's like, dude, please do a show at my fucking barbershop. Just invite your friends, have a DJ, do whatever you want. You can have the place, just do it. I just want more people to see this stuff. And initially he was like, I don't know. It's not really, but he came around and he's going to do it. I'm so fucking stoked. You'll see when he does it, and you'll
send me some links beforehand there. I'll pump it.
For sure, dude. For sure. Yeah, all that.
Well, okay, I got a few questions here. I asked some of my my people if they had any questions for a punk rock barber, and they gave me a few that they wanted me to ask you.
Okay.
So if this is kind of my my cop out for asking a few more cheesy questions, but I thought you might enjoy it.
Sure, dude.
So what's your favorite hairstyle to create? What's the thing you like getting in the chair? People say go nuts. What do you like to do? What's your favorite?
I like to do big pompadours, like big monster pompadours. Like looks like a cartoon. Like I like that. That's my favorite. Huge monster 50s fucking pompadours.
Rockabilly.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And I like
Hot.
doing mullets. I gave a kid a rat tail yesterday. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about, okay, your least favorite hairstyle? Somebody comes in and they ask for something and you're like, fuck no.
I'll do it, but I hate it. Like, oh, number 2 up the side, just enough I can push over on the top.
Oh shit, yeah.
All right, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, like that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. I'll try to talk people out of it though too. Be like, dude, fucking boring, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so then creatively, what turns you on when you're doing your work? Spiritually, emotionally, how do you get fired up every time you come into the shop?
It's the dude who sits in the chair. Because a barber isn't just cutting your hair, fuck, man. And I've also got a lot of time as a counselor under my belt, you know what I mean? And I know how conversations work, and I know how to open doors for people to, you know what I mean?
I do.
It's the
We had a
barber.
great conversation when I sat with you. And bartenders, hairdressers, they have the ability to get into your head in a very special way.
Sure, dude. And it's a wild thing because you're the barber, and typically with dudes, it's like your doctor, your tailor, and your barber touch you. No one else touches you. So that's pretty fucking intimate.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't walk up to somebody on the street and put your hands in their hair. So you know what I mean? Those walls broken immediately. Yeah. And that's why it's easy for guys to, it's wild too, man, because like some guys will come in there and kind of maybe at the beginning they'll be kind of like boast about whatever their fucking crypto stuff or try and be the man or whatever, and it doesn't fly. But then the second or third time in, they're like, then you get the real stuff. You know what I mean? Worried about my fucking
down, yeah, that shit.
Yeah, the heavy stuff, and then years go by, and these relationships are strong. You know what I mean? It's fucking cool, man. And it's people, and I like them. I like people. I think I like them and I hate them, but more I like them than I hate them.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your what's an expression you use when you're working with clients? What's something that really gets people to open up, or what's the thing you like? What's the secret phrase of being a barber? If I wanted to be a barber, what's the one phrase I gotta know?
The way that I typically start is done anything cool lately?
Boom.
That's how
Nothing
I
about
start.
the hair.
And then no, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll say, what are we doing with your hair? Okay. Or they'll show me a picture and go, okay, I know how to do that. And then I'll say, done anything cool lately? And then you hear about kayaking tours and trips to fucking Spain or whatever the fucking crazy shit people are going crazy all over the place. Skateboarding, my car and my fucking motorcycle, blah, 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 blah. And then you get that. It's awesome, dude. That's what I do. Anyway. I don't.
Okay, so
I'll tell them stories, but my stories are fucking grim. So I'd rather hear their stories.
I was just going to ask you. So you sound like you've been all over the place, like job wise and stuff like that. What's one job you could never do? What's one job is just it's not. You can think of it and just like fuck no, you would want to stay away from it no matter what. They could pay you $1 million and you never do it.
Kids.
Ah.
Working with kids down there. I couldn't do it. I never did it. I couldn't do it. And it's fucking trippy. My daughter does that. She's in Ecuador right now, actually, teaching kids, and she works with like homeless kids, little kids, fucking 4-year-old homeless 4-year-old kids. I couldn't do it. It'd break my heart. And she does it. It's fucking crazy. She does it. Fuck, she's got jam, man. She's a very, very tough little kid, man. Well, she's 21. So that's it. Kids, never. Can't do it.
Yeah. Okay, this is my fanboy question because I like throwing it fun. If you could cut anybody's hair, historical, living or dead, who would it be?
Keith Richards.
Good answer.
Thanks, homie.
That's a good answer.
Then I'd have Keith Richards in the fucking barbershop, dude.
And you lock the door and throw away the key, yeah.
Fucking right. My homie had played in copyright, and when Christian. His name is Christian Thorvaldson, but he played in Copyright. And when the Expensive Winos came to town, Copyright opened for them, and which is fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then Christian gets a fucking call. Keith Richards wants to have dinner, wants you to come to dinner.
No shit.
Like, dude, it's like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, okay, like just me and my wife, I guess. And they said, no, you. It's like, oh fuck. Okay, so they went to wherever, somewhere,
Cool.
banquet hall. Keith Richards had it, and he said, all around the table were the heaviest fucking dudes he'd ever seen in his life. Huge dreadlock fucking dudes, biker, like the heaviest fucking dudes he'd ever seen. And Keith, like, fuck my hat, man. That's the shit, right? Wouldn't that be? That'd be the shit for me. Yeah, Keith, man, the coolest guy to ever walk.
Secrets on that.
The coolest guy who's ever walked on this fucking planet, man. That's who I'd want to cut for sure. I take my time too, baby.
Yeah. That's a good answer. So what do you got coming up next? You got a movie release, you said, coming up? Are you starting anything else? Are you going to be doing any more movie stuff?
The premiere's tonight. Well, it's funny. Like, I did this interview right when we opened the barbershop, just about because one of my friends had a friend who worked for Vancouver is Awesome. And he's like, dude, people need to know your story. Like, that's a crazy story.
Agreed.
And yeah. And okay. So I did this little interview. It's like a little fluff thing for feel good thing for Vancouver is Awesome. And it came out, and it was, or at the end of it, the kid, he wasn't a kid, he's in his 20s, but he presses stop on the recorder or whatever, and he's like, oh, you should make a movie about that. And I was like, yeah, you can help me make that fucking movie. Anyway, it came out, and I sent it around to a bunch of people, and like friends and family, you know, like, oh, look at me, I'm in the paper kind of thing. And well, it's digital, but you know what I mean. And my brother-in-law gets back to me, and he's like, calls me the next day, and he's like, dude, you should make a movie about that. And I was like, because I'm a dick, I was like, yeah, you can help me make that fucking movie? He said, what the fuck do you think I do for a living? Oh yeah, right. So we did. The script's written, and I'm not positive exactly where it is, and but the woman who wrote the script, Inga Cadranel, she took it to some fucking LA money, and dude was like, are you making a documentary? And she's like, no, this is a feature, this is a draw. And the guy goes, no, I understand that, are you also making a documentary? And she said, yes we are.
Yeah, that's the right talk. That's great.
Yeah, dude. So there's currently 2 fucking movies about my life.
Well, that's good. Let me just say one thing. If you ever need an extra set of hands, I cut my teeth at Vancouver Film School when I was down there in the early 2000s. So if you ever have a production and it's running anywhere close to guerrilla style, let me know. I'm down there for you. I'll help you out for sure.
That's fucking dope, dude. I love that.
Yeah, no problem. And don't hesitate. Like and anywhere along the line, if you just need an extra set of hands or whatever, just let me know. Okay.
That's fucking rad. Thanks, homie.
Yeah. Anytime. I know, seriously, anytime, but I really do. I mean, anytime, you just ask.
I love that.
Cool. Okay. Well, I'm kind of out of questions for you, but I just want to say I really appreciate you taking the time. I also really appreciate just all the support you give me and just making your content available so I can put it out there. I love getting you guys traffic. I love getting any kind of traction for you at all that I can.
Dude, you do what I do. You're the same. You fucking love it too. You love the fucking culture too.
Yeah, man.
That's the fucking shit. That's oxygen, baby.
That's all we do. There's like 7 of us out here, and if we don't support each other, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to the planet, man.
I'm with you, man, 100%, and I'm fucking with you, 100%.
I know. I feel it. You've been a real good guy and a real good supporter. I haven't got my hair cut. I take off the map. I haven't got my hair cut since October, since the last time you fucking did it. So that when the next time I come down, it's gonna be the next time I get it cut, and it'll be you again. So I guarantee that.
I love that, homie. All
right. Well, Ash, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. I just really appreciate your time, and thanks for sitting down with me and being so real. Absolute pleasure, absolute treat talking with you. I'm going to put all this together in a package, and I'll send it to you for final edit. Make sure you're happy with everything before we send it out, okay?
Thanks, dude. It means a lot to me.
Hey, thanks. This means a lot to me too. I really appreciate it, buddy. Have a good day, okay?
Thanks, homie. Later.
Yeah, peace.